Good evening. This is just a little quick little video. I'm just doing a restoration of this one here. This is a Scarlatti 72 bass and it's going very well, sounds nice, but I've just redone all the bass reeds, and when I was testing it, the C, the lowest C, had a rattle. And so what I did is I got the lowest reed bank out, and I could ping that lowest C, and I could hear the rattle, and I can show it to you here. You can just hear it clattering. Now, the things I've tried, first of all, I just tried hammer punch on the rivets on a hard metal surface, just to make sure that the reeds were tight. I've checked that the reeds are in the centre of their slot, and they are. I've sanded around the outside of the reeds to make sure nothing's catching. I've tried raising the tip height a little, and none of it has worked. So this is a tricky one because I'm running out of options with this. Really, it is catching and rattling, but I have a plan, and this is a plan which will sound nice and work well. So I've got these reeds that I've kept from a Scandali, and these were the same set of reeds that I took and put some in my pocket rocket. And so I always keep stuff, always keep stuff that's, you know, reasonably good quality or good quality, because you never know when you might need something. And so it's when I was fixing bikes as well, I'd always keep bits of bike components if they were reasonably good quality, because you never know. Obviously chuck away any rubbish. But anyway, from this Scandali lowest reed block, I found a C, and it's nice and it doesn't rattle. So it's a very nice reed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a little clean up. So I'm going to put it in my ultrasonic for a bit and just give it a nice little clean, get rid of all bits of glue and wax off it. Then I'm going to pop it in to the gap where the old one was, which is a rattle. Now the width is perfect, but the length is about half a centimetre too short. But that's not a problem. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to get some wood, and I'm going to carefully pack out that chamber by that half centimetre. And I've got this is a stirrer from coffee shop, whatever they're called. I don't go to Starbucks, something like that. Coffee, what was the other one? I can't remember. Anyway, but you pick these up and they're just nice and easy to cut. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure carefully the chamber and cut a few of these cut a few strips of this, and then I'm going to use some wood glue, or Aleene's tacky glue actually, and just going to stick and clamp that in place until I've got enough in there so that the reed will sit without falling down into the chamber. So all I've got to do now is measure or mark the width. In fact, what I'm going to do to make it nice and easy, if I just put this down here, let's move some stuff out of the way, just angle it in a bit. There you go. So I'm just going to offer it up, make a little mark, and just get a nice sharp blade. Just score that along, and then whoop, there we are. I'm just going to check that fits, which it does. So I'm going to cut about 3 more of these, and then I'm going to start gluing them in with my, so we just cut a couple more Hey, come here. Open it up. Score that a few times. 2. Let's do one more for luck. There we are. So now I'm going to get my wood glue. There it is. Get this. It's not wood glue, eh? It's Aleene's tacky, whatever it is. A bit of that. And then I'm going to get my reed block. And just like a little brush or something I can just put this on with. And that's going to build up the layers. And the important thing is to keep them flush. With the top of the edge of the chamber. So I'll just put a few more of these on, and then I'm just going to get a little clamp on there and just hold it in place for just half an hour. I'll probably do it because this stuff dries nice and quick. Let's get the second one in. And while this is drying, I'll put the reed through the cleaner, and then I just got to revolve it, and I'll just get the wax heated up, and I'll do a little bit of a extra bit of waxing. The wax already in this reed block is, I've only did it yesterday, so it's still really nice and soft, so it's kind of like it's quite malleable, so it will still be pretty good. But let's just double check now. So now I've got, just to see how much more I might need. I'll fill that up. One more. So let's just cut one more little bit. Dee 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 dee. A bit of glue. Okay, I'm just going to get a little clamp that together, just one sec. There we go. Clamp. Lovely. So I'll leave that just for about 30 minutes or so, just to set. That's fine. And whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to give this one a little clean. So I'm just going to get rid of any excess glue, old glue that was gluing on the old valves. Just carefully scrape that off, get rid of that. And I'm going to put this in my cleaner. And I'll just put that in there for 10 minutes or so, just give it a really nice little clean up. It's already pretty clean. Just put that in there. There's my cleaner there. Where is it? There it is. Boop. So I'll come back when that's clean and that's dry, and I'll show you just the finishing touches to get this, cure this rattly reed. Right, so that's pretty nearly there. Gonna leave it another little while, but I've got the nice cleaned up reed. When I finish cleaning it in the ultrasonic, I give it a really good heat up with a hairdryer on maximum, just to get it really hot and warm, get rid of all the water, and now that's great. No rattles. So what I'm going to do next is put a valve on the underside of the reed, but not on the top side, because when I wax it in, I just want to be sure that I haven't got anything on the valve when I put the wax on, because it's quite a tight little fit. So I'll put the top valve on a bit later. Just need to find a little brush, wherever that's gone. Oh, we do know where that's gone. Anyways, let's just put a bit of glue on there. Let's put the valve on. Oh, just check. Now because it's quite a wide valve, if I just stick it on, it's actually getting really close to the edge of that reed plate. So before I put that glue on, what I'm going to do is get a sharp knife and a ruler, and I'm going to trim that valve very slightly, only by like less than a mil, just to give it more chance to sit without catching on the edge. Let's have a look. That's fine. So now I can just put the glue on. Go. So that can go on that side. There we are. So I'll put that underneath valve on. I've not trimmed it yet. I'll trim it in a minute when the glue's had a chance to dry. So that's that. So I can let that dry a little bit, trim the valve. I'll come back in a sec. Okie dokie. Right. So I've done the padding out, if you like, packing out, and I've just sanded it a little bit nice and smooth, and that's going to be fine. So that's ready to go. I've got the reed which doesn't rattle here, so I'm just going to trim that valve with a pair of sharp scissors. There we go. So that's now sitting nicely. So that's ready to be popped in. And because I only did this yesterday, that reed wax which is around that chamber is all soft. So what I can actually do, I can push this reed into that soft wax, and it's probably going to be absolutely fine. But what I will do, I'll just put a little bit extra around the top edge and the bottom edge, because there's no wax there, because I had to take it all off to get the packing in. But that should be absolutely fine. I might just put a little down the sides as well, but yeah, I'll probably put a tiny bit down the sides as well. So because I'm going to be doing that, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get a little bit of some electrical tape, and what I want to do is just protect the adjacent reeds, which I don't want to get any wax on. So I'm going to get some electrical tape and just make a little bit of a protective shield so that I can just drop some wax down the sides without affecting or getting on the adjacent reeds. So let's pop that on that one as well. Like that. There we are. So I've just got a little bit of a protective barrier there so that I can just get that waxed in nicely. So the wax is now heated up in my wax heater. So now I'm just going to offer this up. In fact, what I'll do, I'll change the camera angle so that you can see more what I'm... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the reed. I'm going to pop it into the slot, push it in firmly, and I can see the packing is there, so that's going to work nicely now. So now I'm going to get my wax, which is now had a chance to heat up, and I'm just going to go along the bottom edge. Like so, so that should seal. And then I'm going to do the top. And then I've got a special brush which is really thin. Where's he gone? There he is. I've got a very thin brush. Ooh, look at that is. And that's going to go right down into the gaps down there. So it's very thin. So it's good to have a thin brush like this. You can then just go into those little gaps. Okay, so let's just leave that for a second while that wax has a chance to just cool down a little bit, and I'll show you the next bit. Okay, so I've taken off the tape, and I'm just going to put the outside valve on. Like so. I'm going to leave that to dry. Night. Leave that to dry for a sec, and then I'll trim that, and then the next thing is to put it all back together, and I'll show you what it all sounds like. Okay, so just give that a chance to dry. Okay, right, nearly there. So just going to trim that valve, and then it's time to put things back in and put my money where my mouth is, or something like that, and just show you, or let you hear what it sounds like. So let's just trim this. Trim that valve back. So that's all good. So the next step, so that wax has had time to cool down and set and everything, so that's going to be fine. The next step is I'm going to put everything back together again, so I'll just get everything ready, and here we go. So I've got the base side here, so let's put everything back in. I'm just going to film it from a different angle, I think. There you go. Righty ho, here we go. So, this is now all back together. Moment of truth. I hope it's alright. So the C had a rattle on it. Let's see if the rattle has gone. No rattle. Sounding nicely, and this is a C again. And there we are, job done. So that's now a nicely sounding C. That reed that was rattly, I'm just going to chuck that because I don't think I can get it sounding any better than it is. So that's gone in the bin. Thanks for watching. Just a little clip about how to deal with a rattly reed. Thanks for watching. Hello, I'm just going to add a little bit to this video because once I finish filming it, I just get curious about wonder if I could get that reed to stop rattling, because I thought I tried everything. And I'll just try and do a few little things to see if I could find a cure. And I tried really bending at the tip height, and that didn't do any. And then I just thought of something. I just held it up to a light, and I just pushed the reed through the slot against the light, and I could just see exactly how it was moving. Because when you play the note, the reed does move a lot, and it goes up and down, and it goes into the slot and out again. And I could just see, as I held it up to a bright light, I could just see a corner of the top of the reed where the kind of the big metal chunk on this bass reed is, just catching. I could just feel it catching. So I did a bit of a file. I got a little diamond file, pulled the reed back, and then in the slot I just filed that slot a bit bigger, where I could just feel that catch on the top of that reed. So I just got this and I just enlarged the slot a little where I could feel the catch, and then tested it again, pushed the reed through like that, and it wasn't catching. Oh, hang on a minute. So then I pinged it, and it's gone. So there we are. So if only I'd done that earlier, I could have saved myself a bit of work. But the good thing is that I've got a better quality reed in there, nice reed, Scandali reed in there, and I can keep this one as a spare one. But you're always learning, you always think about, well, hang on a minute, what's going on there? And just by extending the slot a little with a little diamond file, I've just stopped that catching, and that was what's causing the rattle. So there you go, you live and learn. So I just thought I'd add a little bit on to the end of this video just to show you what I've done, just trying to work out how to solve it. So there we are, hope that was useful. Thanks for watching.